Hello, my name is Paul Martinez, and today I'm going to be showing you how to use and download the program Educreations. Now, Educreation, you can use it on your computer, and you can also use it on your phone or your iPad or any other tablet device. It's a very user-friendly app, and it's just like the other applications that we have, like Screencast-O-Matic or Screencastify, but it's more simple. It's a lot more fun, and it's very user friendly. Now, what I'm going to show you here is how to log in, how, and in a little bit I'll show you how to use the application on the tablet. Okay. Now, Education is a community of educators and learners that get together to share information and also create content. So when you log in, you're going to see that you can create your own content, like this man is doing right here, and you can also share it with other teachers, and you can get some content from other teachers as well. So it's kind of like a YouTube slash like teacher tube kind of vibe, where you can get information from other educators or even students, and you can present them into classrooms. Educreations is free, but they also have a pro version, and that one you have to buy. Now, here's the basics, which is no payments or whatever. But if you would want the pro or school, these are the prices that you can have. So here it shows record and share lessons. Here you can export your lessons, teacher and student management for the School Pro. So there's different, you know, pros for paying, or also it shows you the different, features you have if you have for free or would you pay. Now, me, I don't pay for it because I don't use it that much, so I don't see why we should. But if we can get our school district to buy it, which would be great, hopefully someone that's watching or somebody that works with the school district can convince somebody that this would be something great for our school to use, then we can go ahead and purchase this. Which I mean, for a school up to 10 teachers, I thought, or 10 teachers and up, that's not that bad. All right. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get started with the application, right? Okay, so let's go into login. Well, actually, let me go back. If you're a new user, you would sign up, and there's two signups. You can be a teacher or a student. If you're a student, there's a code that you'd get from the teacher to join the classroom of the teacher to see all the teacher's lessons, which I'll try to show later. We have time. But let's concentrate on just teachers sign up, okay? Because there's going to be a lot of content we're going to talk about. All right, so here is your teacher sign up. You would put your first name, your last name, email, password, and whatever. And me, I'm already a user, so I'm just going to log in. And you can actually use your Google email from the school district to log in. You can even use your Facebook, but let's stick with Google. So I'm going to log in. It's going to ask me to choose my email. Now it asks me, welcome, you do not yet have an Education account with the email address. You can create one in a few easy steps. Now, the reason I know about this app is because I created it with another email. So right now we're walking through as if you're a new user. So I'm a teacher. First name, Pablo. Last name, Martinez. And we're going to go ahead and sign up. Okay, and then it asks you for which school you teach in. And you'd put me, I'm going to put Gruya Middle School. And maybe it should, but I'm not sure if it would. Or let's try RGCASD. Okay, so here we have some schools that I guess some teachers have signed up for. Like here's Greer High School, and I see that my school's not here. It's pretty sad, but oh well. Mm. So, like I said, you can if you can't find your school, just register here. I'm gonna go ahead and register my campus. Let me search up my school's phone number real quick. I don't know all this by memory, so yeah. Let's go ahead and add our website. All right, so I already successfully created for my school account setting. So here it's asking me if I want to use pro or basic. So here I'm just going to stick with my basics. So title, I am Mr. Pablo Martinez. Time zone, so central, I guess. Um, Here it's just asking me to create a password. I'm going to use the same one I signed up with. Okay. You can choose a photo if you want. For time purposes, I'm not, but you can put your photo there. That way, when people log in or see your stuff, they can see your photo. Here, where I put schools, I put my school information here, and it comes out, which is great. So that way, if other teachers from around the United States, around the world, because it's not just teachers locally, it's teachers all over can see your information. That's optional. Me, I'm putting that there just so they know. Here is a bio telling you people about yourself on your profile. You could fill it out if you want. You don't have to, but you could put I'm a teacher at whatever kind of concert you're gonna put, and whatever. You know, email notifications. So here it says if you want to get emails from someone registered for one of your classes or send me the latest news. You can put those optional if you want. So I'm going to take this one off. That way I don't get bombarded with emails. This one I'll keep there in case I do use it with my students. I haven't had time to use it because I've been using other applications. But I kind of regret not using it because it is actually a really good app. So I'm probably going to use it with my summer school kids if I do summer school. So we'll see how it goes. So save. All right. So successfully saved. And you can change this information anytime you want. Now, um, let's go ahead and go here. And here's kind of like your home page. Here are your lessons. You click on my lessons. There's no lessons yet. Favorites, recent. We haven't created anything yet, so you can't do much with that. Here's classes. You can create a class. Say class name, subject area, grade level, description, and then grade class. So let's see. Let me go with sixth grade history, just to keep it simple. Go with social studies, subject area, world history, because that's what I teach. Grade level, let's go with sixth grade. Description, I'm not going to put any. All right, so here is where your students would log in as a student. Shows you what students you have, and it also this is the class code you would give your students to get into your class. So this automatically lets your students in to watch your lessons. It's like Google Classroom, but it just shows them the videos. That way they can do the lesson. Even though it's like Google Classroom, you can't assign assignments or quizzes or tests on it like Google Classroom does, but it does correlate with Google Classroom. There's a way to get your content that you create here and send it to Google Classroom. And I'll show you how that works in a little bit. So let me show you how you create a lesson. You could either go here where it says new lesson, or here where it says add a lesson. Well, we're just going to stick here where it says new lesson. So I'm going to click here. And one thing, if you're going to use this program, you have to have Flash Player. If you don't have Flash Player, it's not going to let you. So you can go here to check if you have Flash Player, and I'll check here. And if you're using the school laptop, which are the HPs that they gave us, it does work. I tried it just right now, and it does. I'm just going to show you how to enable it. So here it says your Flash Player is pre-installed on Google Chrome, but not enabled. You can skip the steps below if you enable Flash Player on Chrome. So if you already have Flash Player enabled or on your computer but not enabled, I'll show you how to enable it. If not, you need to download Flash Player. Now, if you want to download Flash Player and using a school laptop, you're probably going to need that school code or administration ID. But since these new laptops already have Flash Player installed, then you don't need to do that. You just need to follow the steps I'm going to show you. But if you're using a different computer, you're going to need to download Flash Player if you don't have it. Now, like I said, when you click here, it takes you to the site, which is Flash Player. And you click here where it says check now, and it'll tell you, yes, you have the up-to-date version, or no. If you don't, well, you just click down here to download it. It's pretty simple to install, but since I'm using this school laptop, it won't let me. But I already have it downloaded. So let me just show you how to enable it if you already do. So if you have a school laptop, all you need to do is you go here to settings. Let me move my screen out of the way. So you go right over here next to where your icon or picture is, right here where it says customize and control Google Chrome. You go down to settings. All right. And then you click on privacy settings, privacy and security right here. And then you put more. Or site settings right here. Click on that one. And then you go down to Flash Player. And right now I have it on, but it's probably going to be off since if you haven't used Flash Player, you're going to turn it on. And it's going to put ask first. So it's always going to ask you when it needs to use Flash. It's going to ask you, you put allow. So right now it's on. So let me show you how to do that again. You go to private, you go right here. You go to settings. You go to privacy and security. You go to site settings right here. You go down here where it says Flash. Hang on, I just saw it right now. Here we go, Flash. And then you're going to turn this on. If it's not blue, if it's like this, it's off. So you're going to turn this on. It already has the website that I allowed, so that means every time I go in, I can go into it. If not, I don't. Right now it's blocked because I turned it off. So I could show you how to do this. So right now it's blocked. I'm going to right click with my mouse. Hang on. I'm going to right click with my mouse and I'm going to allow as default. That way every time I log in, it's going to let me. So I put that, I put reload. Okay. And it should let me. Okay, I put ask, sorry. Okay, so you put allow, and it should start working in a bit. Hang on. All right, so once it loads, this is how it looks like. It's just a regular whiteboard that you would have in your classroom, but online. Now it seems small here, but once you make your video, it blows up. So there's a variety of things you can do. There are some limitations since we're using the free one. If you're using the pro one, you can actually upload your slides or PowerPoints or your Google Docs or your PDF files, but we're using the free one, so all we can really do is upload images. That really doesn't limit us to what we can do with this, because you can just upload your pictures on here. So how would you do that? So before I get into that, let me show you some of the tools. Like, you have your colors, your eraser, your trash can in case you don't like it. You can just throw the whole thing away. And you can also add other pages as well. So let's say I'm working with this, and I want to add a new page. I click next, this, add a new page next. I don't like any of them, delete them. Or I can press back. So how can you use this in a classroom setting, or how can you use it when you're not there? Or in this case, since we're distance learning, how can we put content on here? So very basic what we can do. I'm gonna show you what let's say a math teacher would be able to do. So I'm gonna open up the math packet, and what we're gonna do is we're going to look at some math problems. So here's one, and let's say there's different things you want to answer about this one thing. Well, you can use your snippet or your let me show you your snipping tools. So this lets you basically, you know, lets you crop the tools or crop out your picture. So what you would do is you would click here, and then you would get, like, let's say the picture as your question. Okay, then you would need to save it somewhere. So let's go ahead and put file, save as, and I'm going to save this picture somewhere where I can find it automatically. So I'm going to go to this one right here, and I'm going to put save and close. So once you save your picture from when you were cropping it, what you do is you go here, and then you look for your picture. So it was on this USB here, here, on this folder, saved as capture, and here's the picture. So I'm going to put this right here so I can try to, make it, so I can be able to answer my questions. So I'm going to do that here. And then I'm going to go ahead and, well, let me erase this here. I'm going to add another of the same picture here. That way I can answer another question about it. This is what you can do as a teacher. You have to really, really set this thing up. That way you can be able to do your questions or your work. You need to set up your slides ahead of time before you start recording. As you can see right here, I haven't started recording yet. So I'm going to click here, press that, click here. All right, so we're going to do like 3 questions of this, all right? So then we're going to go back to our PDF, and it says here, how much did Jerry save? So we're going to go ahead and open up that program. I'm going to put snip for snipping tools. I'm going to put new, and I'm going to go ahead and crop this out here. Let's move this out of the way though. So I'm going to crop this here. It's got to make it a little bit smaller. That way it doesn't take up too much space. Okay. I'm going to put save as again. And it still says, it's going to say capture again. So we're going to just put Jerry. All right. That way we know it's the question about Jerry. Or you can put question 1, 2, 3, and 4. However you feel comfortable saving your work. So next, I see it saved right here. So then we're going to go ahead and I'm going to go back here. I'm going to put the picture of Jerry. So how much did Jerry save? So you could either put it here, down here, however you want. Okay. All right, so next I'm going to do the next question. So I'm going to go back over here. And I'm going to go back over here, and then I'm going to snip this one right here, or crop. Get that there. There we go. And file, save as. That one's going to say page. That's the name of the. Next question. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and save number 3. That way we can just save some time from going back and forth, you know. You, and then who saved exactly $9. There we go. File, save as. Let's just put $9. That way we know which ones we are looking for. Okay, now let's go back to the Educreation app. So we already did number 1. Let's go on to number 2. And you go to images here. So this one was page. And I always try to remember to number them because, let me show you. Number 3, because your questions might get mixed up, so make sure to just put 1, 2, 3, 4. So you see here they're not in order, so try to keep them in order. That way you don't get lost in what you're doing, because it will probably get frustrating trying to look at which is the exact image you need. All right, so here it says here number 3. So let's go ahead and start recording. So to record, you're going to go here. It says record. And then it says, it asks you here, allow Education to access camera and microphone. So we're going to put allow. And then we're going to enable, just make sure we have all this enabled. So here it asks you to allow. There's your camera. Here you can check your recording, how you're talking, basically, like the volume. You put it all the way up. I'll keep it right here. Let's close. All right, so let's click record. See how it goes. All right, so when you start recording, you press record and this pops out, and you can basically just start teaching. Now, what's kind of complicated about this is that, and it's like every other recording device, once you start, you can't rewind. Another thing is you can't edit out what your mistakes, so you have to be in a room that's very secure with no interruptions. You can pause. And when you pause, you can continue. So that's the great thing about it. There isn't really any limit of how much time you have on here, but make sure you do have a good microphone, because after a while it does kind of get fuzzy. And make sure to take some breaks, that way the audio doesn't break on you. So let's say you're a math teacher. You have your problems already set up. I just set up 3. So you'd go ahead and just read a group of friends were trying to see who saved up the most money. They recorded the results in the bar graph below. So as a teacher, you would explain what this would be, what they're asking for, yada yada. And maybe you want to underline. There's no highlighter on this, but it's the best we got. So you'd be able to underline, and then you'd answer the question, how much did Jerry save? So here they're asking about Jerry. How much did he save? Well, he saved, here it says money saved in dollars. So he saved about $9. So here with your computer, you'd write 9. Um, Now, if you have an iPad, it's more user friendly than the computer. The computer, you have to, write out stuff. Um, Here, there's no, on the computer, you can't text or write things in text. On the iPad, you can, and I'll show you that in a little bit. All right, so there's your first answer. Then you click next, and right here to get your next one. And then it asks you, did Tiffany or Paige save more money? So you look at this graph here. So Tiffany saved $7, and then this girl saved that many dollars. So you would either write out her name, me, just because I don't want to write it out, I'm going to circle Tiffany. That way they know who it is, and the kids would write it out on pencil, or you can even try to write it out here. It's kind of hard. But let's say if you have like a Surface Pro or a touch computer, like a computer that's touchscreen, you can get a pen like this one, and you can write it out. That's why it's a lot better to use it on the phone or tablet, because it's a little easier for you to be able to do this. And then next you put who saved $9. Well, Jerry saved $9. So you could like that, or you can write it out. As you can see, it's a little hard to write it out by hand. But like I said, if you have a tablet or an iPad, which mostly all of us have from the district, you'd be able to do that. So then once you're done, you could either put pause if you're want to look over it, or if you're ready, you just put save. So you put save. Okay, nice work. Click save to save your work. Click preview to replay your work. So we can press preview. Let's press play. So I'm just fast forwarding so you can see what I'm doing here. You can see that you can preview what you have. You can rewind. You don't like it, well, then you would have to redo it all over again. You can't crop it out. So let's go ahead and put finish to be able to, you know, uh, upload it. So you can, before you click anything, make sure to read. I was about to click start over, but save your work or your recordings or start over. So we're going to save. All right, so let's go to lessons. And you know what? I didn't name this lesson, so make sure to name your lessons. That way, you can be able to assign it to your students, and that way they know what lesson they're doing. All right, and like down here, it'll tell you if you were to upgrade a pro, it'd tell you who's been watching your lessons or what have you. So let's go back to class. Actually, let's go back to here. So like I said, if you want to create a lesson, you create a lesson. You record. Let's save work. Here you would put your title, like equations or whatever. You put a description of what it is. Here you would put privacy or publish, and so forth. Okay, so that I'm going back to how you do your lesson. So let's look at this one here. Let's go to settings. So here, let's go ahead and make it public or publish. That way everyone can see it. Let's label it as math. Grade, let's go with 6th grade. Description, I don't need to do that. Lesson, I'm not going to change that. So that's, I'm just showing you how to, if in case you forget to put a name, you just go to your settings on your video and click on your video, go here, and then you put save. You can also delete your lesson if you don't like it as well, or you can just put private. That way you just have it in your files, and you know your students don't see it, but it's there. Now, like I said, you can also send your video to Google Classroom. So how you do that is, let me see here, put share. And then down here it has the Google Classroom option. You click on Google Classroom. Then it says choose a class. So I'm going to send it to my demo class. And then it's going to ask what kind of action you want. Do you want to create an assignment, ask a question, make an announcement, or create material? Let's go with create material. Or not, no, let's go with assignment. Go. And let's make this full screen. So now it has the video here so the students can see. And, you know, you can do several different things with that. Hold on. So like I said, here you can go into the video. It shows you the video, but you can't do any questions. So that would be kind of hard for the teacher to do that. So, well, not hard. Like I'm saying, all it's giving you is the option is to put the video. So I'm just showing you that it has a direct link to Google Classroom. Now, what we should do is this. We put share, and we're going to copy the link. I'm going to go to my Google Classroom here. Let me go here, classwork, and now I'm going to create an assignment. I'm going to put add, I'm going to put add link. So I'm going to put this link here. So now I can go to my video. I can watch the video. And you can even put a full screen of your student. That way you can see everything. So like I said, you can click here for full screen. The students also have the option to speed up the video or slow it down. That way they can, hear step by step. That way they can see it at their own pace. Now, once you already have this here, you as the teacher would either put the assignment on Google Docs, slides. You could put, since it's an assignment on a PDF, you would go here and add the assignment on PDF. You put the title, whatever, and your other stuff that you need to put there so the students will be able to do the work. And then you put assign. All right. So that's one way of doing it as a math teacher. As a reading teacher, you could do other things like, you can read a story. You can put the storybook on there if you would like. That way the students will be able to read along with the story, or maybe you have a story passage. You can put the stat passage on there and then answer the question with the students. Or if you work on your writing, you put some grammar assignment on there and you work on it like that. There's different possibilities. All right. Now, this isn't just for, adding videos. You can do other things as well on Educreations. And let's see. Okay, so here we can add videos. You can also look up videos from other teachers as well, but that's you would have to do on the iPad. So we're going to switch over to the iPad so we can go ahead and do that. But before we do that, I'm going to show you another account that I have. That way, you can see the other things you can do. So I'm gonna log in. I'm gonna show you another account. So this was my other account here. Let me log in. So here are some other lessons I created. That way I can show you just other things that you can do. Um, here's one that I did a couple of years ago working on a math problem. And that's what I mean. Like I took a picture or a screenshot and I put that math problem on there. And so you can see that there's different things I'm working on here. I'm just fast forwarding because I don't want to take up too much time. So these are different things you can look up or not look up, do. And, you can create it with your students. Like mostly I did math. That's why I'm just showing you math things. But you can also, let's say, create a PowerPoint. So what you can do is you can open up your PowerPoint. And let me just try to find a PowerPoint so we can do together. All right. So here's one PowerPoint I worked on with the kids. I can screenshot, or let me see if it lets me do that here. Save as, let's go with export. Change file type. So we can save them all as a JPEG. And then you can just upload all your pictures like that. Okay, and then you can make your PowerPoint like that. So what I would do is, let's just go with the cropping. So all right, so what you would do is you would open your snip tools. When you open it up, just click here where it says new. Then you go ahead and crop out the picture you want from your PowerPoint. So obviously when you're doing that, like that's not going to come out, but let's just work with what we got here, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and save it. I'm just going to put this as capture too. So there we go. And then you could go here, upload your picture. And there's the PowerPoint. Then you would add all your other slides. Now, if that's too complicated for you and you want to really work with this app, I would suggest buying the application. That way you can upload your PowerPoint no problem whatsoever. But if not, you're going to have to upload all your slides like that. So like I said, you could try to, go here, export, change file type, let's try to put it as a JPEG format. Let's put all slides, and let's see how that works. All right. So, wow, all the slides came out as a JPEG. So, let's open it up and check out how that looks. So here's each of your slides as a JPEG. Now, that actually makes it a lot easier for us to be able to upload it here. So you go here, click on your file, go to slide 1, there's your slide 2, so forth. You just add all your slides, and you just start recording, and you talk about the slideshow that you're working on, There you go. So, yeah. That makes it very easy, actually. So you can do that. And like I said, if you're a reading teacher, just, put the picture of the story you're reading, you read it along. Writing teacher, put your grammar work on there, whatever you need. and that's how you can work with that app. So, like I said, I'm showing you the computer version. Now, it's a lot easier on the tablet version because one, you could just click on your screenshot right here. You can save it automatically to your pictures. It's a lot easier. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to use it on the iPad. So give me a sec. So here we have the iPad version of Educreations. Right here is the app. How you can get the app is you go on your app store and you just look up Educreations and download it. There are other applications you can use that are like Educreations, but we're gonna stick with this one for now. All right, so let's go ahead and open up the app. That way we can see the features they have. So here are the features. You can start recording. Right here is the recording. You can put stop, you can play. And you can see that it's a little different than the computer version. They haven't really updated the computer version as much as the iPad version. So it's a little more cleaner on here. So here you can actually rewind in here. Right here is you can trim, which is great because, you can, if you, let's say you messed up over here, well, then you can just close that here. Put trim. And, has a bunch of other stuff as well that we're going to get into. You can add other pages right here where I'm clicking with the arrow. And you can also, change colors. You click here and change different colors. You can clear all if you, like, let's make a big mess here. On the computer, you'd have to do this by hand, or you could just click clear all, clear recording, or clear ink. Let's clear recording. And just clear the page as well. So, what else can you do? You can click right here where it says add. You can actually write a text on here. And it allows you to write text on there. Not like the computer version. The computer version, you can't really write anything at all. So you can write things on here. You can click here. You can duplicate. You can lock it. That way it doesn't get deleted. You can edit your text, or you can just, you don't want it there, you can delete. You can also add pictures from your library, or you can take a picture. So let's say you have the assignment already there. You don't want to copy and paste. You could just take a picture. Put use. And there you go. I'm recording, okay. All right, so you can also, rotate your pictures, duplicate the pictures, heighten it, within it, or just make it smaller. There's a lot more options with the tablet version versus the computer version. I much rather use the tablet version because it's a lot easier, and there's a lot more tools you can use as well. Let me show you one more. So if you click here, you can, not here, you can change it to line paper. So maybe you can write out some words. If you're a grammar teacher, that way you can teach your kids something like, writing out a complete sentence or whatever. You can change it to graphing paper or color grid or coordination grid, sorry. And you can do math problems on here if you need to. So the tablet or iPad version is a lot better than the version on the computer. So like if you were to ask me what I would be using to create content, I would probably just be using my iPad more than my computer because of the functions that it has. Now,
you can use this as a teacher or as a student. Now, I had a teacher tell me that they love using this app with their English language learners because they're able to practice speaking and also creating projects. So what you can do in your classroom is, if you had a class set, you can actually create a project where the kids create some content. Maybe they create a PowerPoint or a storyboard. They draw it out, like what exactly they're doing. So they can draw like a story, here's the sun and some characters. What are they saying? What are they doing? You can make a lot of creative content on this. So, and then you can present it to your class, that way they can share what kind of movie they made or what kind of content they made on here with their project. There's so many different things other than just using it as a teacher in case you're out or for distance learning. You can have the kids create, like a presentation on here as well. They can look up pictures from the internet. Maybe they're reading a book about Harry Potter. Well, then they look up Harry Potter. And they look up some images and they just talk about, the project that they're doing with Harry Potter or whatever, just some different examples. And like they just send it to you, the class, and it's there and you can open it. Now, there's a bunch of possibilities we can do with this kind of application, and I encourage everyone to try to at least use this knowledge in the classroom at least once. That way we'll be able to see if we can continue doing these kind of things later on. It's very helpful in the case, like, let's say you're out, or let's say the student's absent. They can actually do a participation grade like this at home. They can put the assignment, like maybe it's like a speech they have to do, or, something where they have to talk. They can do the whole presentation on here, and they could turn it into you as well. That way you have that interaction with your students, especially right now that we're not in the classroom. They would have to create this kind of project to send it to you, and it's not hard to use. Okay, all they need is either their iPhone or their Android device or their tablets, and they're be able to send it to you right away. And another thing, it's very user friendly on the iPad because, one, you don't have to have Adobe Flash Player or any of that kind of stuff. You just need to download the program. So in my opinion, I think this would be a great program for not just the teachers but also the kids. But like I said, that's my opinion. But I challenge you to go ahead and try it out. So thank you for watching the video, and hope you have a nice day. See you later.